speakers, starting with Dr. Bruce Price. Dr. Price was appointed Chief of the Department of Neurology at McLean Hospital in 1994, an internationally recognized leader in the field of neurology. His research interests include the cognitive and behavioral consequences of neurologic and psychiatric diseases. His fascination with the intersections between medicine, law, and ethics is long-standing, and he will place Alzheimer's in this bigger interdisciplinary context for us today. Dr. Price, please come up.
Let me start with a profound tip of my hat to the Alzheimer study community, if you will, and to the sponsors. I am going to talk about law, ethics, and Alzheimer's in approximately 10 minutes. And I'm going to use my very own mother as a story to weave into this talk. So, Harriet Cotton, Elizabeth Kinloch, Heiberger Price, all that tells you is she lived a complicated life. She never saw fit to drop her name to inquire. And in her day, you could say that she was really an archivist in that way, praise be. This is on the frontispiece of her memorial service when we buried her in July of 2010. A beautiful young person is an accident of nature. A beautiful old person is a work of art. Yeah, sure, yeah. You're not here? Then I will, okay, good, thanks. So, my mother's favorite saying when she was lucid, on the front page of her memorial service, a beautiful young person is an accident of nature, and a beautiful old person is a work of art, by William Shakespeare. Now, I was the youngest of 5. I think I was the most adored of all 5. And she, in fact, suffered from Alzheimer's disease for the last 5 to 8 to probably 10 to 12 years of her life. Being scientific in my orientation, I myself examined her brain, and indeed, in a very surreal experience, I must say, this is the mother I adored. This is her tissue, from what all those thoughts, loving as angry as they made me, came from. She had advanced Alzheimer's disease. And yet, despite that, we had moments of beauty, as everyone says here, and she remains an inspiration. She's so alive in my spirit. So I know this disease, up front and personal. And I like, Brendan, what you said is, love the patient, hate, boy, don't we hate the disease of Alzheimer's disease. So, in terms of ethics and wills and Alzheimer's, it's clear now that dementia affects decision-making of all types at some time during this course. That even pre-dementia, some people call it mild cognitive impairment, and early dementia, states have been found to affect complex decision-making abilities. And recent, and not so recent research shows an increased prevalence of comorbid behavioral symptoms in this population. So if you look and take samples from even early Alzheimer's type patients, the vast majority suffer from apathy, and the social withdrawal, a lack of motivation and initiative, anxiety, depression, agitation, diminished self-awareness, insight awareness, concern, and ability to understand consequence in the future. So they are at peril of making decisions which really don't serve their interests or their family's interests. When you talk about complex decision-making capacities, you can go to driving cars, making medical decisions, consent for research trials, both huge ethical issues. When they sign that dotted line, do they fully understand the implications of the study? Can they self-manage complex medical treatments, stand trial, be a witness, a juror, handle firearms, fulfill social and occupational roles, engage in intimate sexual relations? If I may say another tip of my hat to the former U.S. Chief Justice, Sandra O'Connor Day? Or Day O'Connor, gotcha. Her husband suffered from Alzheimer's disease, was in a facility, and developed a romance with someone else. And I think the romance consisted of just tenderness, holding each other's hands and telling stories. she had the fortitude, the courage to say, you know what, I understand. That's fine. It's a blessing. Imagine that. Resist undue influence over personal decisions, which I'll talk about more. Execute a will. Execute the last testament. So what can you do in a preemptive form? And I talked with Mr. Ellenberg, and I think he would resonate with these, is make your wishes known, make your wishes sick. Why now? Because now we presume you are of sound mind, and you can make a transfer of assets that is knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, 3 key legal concepts in our world of autonomy and in the United States. And you have the capacity to make medical decisions. So, in this cartoon, first of all, there's your probate lawyer calling in the family. First of all, your uncle would like to apologize for putting everything he had on Bluebell in the 5th at Belmont as a horse race. Now, if he's of sound mind, he has every right to do so. But if he's cognitively incapacitated, you wonder if there's undue influence, and someone led him to do that and dispose of all of his income, and therefore deprive his heirs. If you have intact decision-making capacity, again, you can do whatever you want to do with your body and with your affairs. If you do not specify your wishes, however, principles of law and equity will take over. Who are your natural heirs? Who are the natural objects of your bounty? These are all legalese questions. What are the controlling corporate documents? What are the federal and state corporate or partnership laws that govern as a backdrop? And what decision do your loved ones think you would have made? Which, if that happens and it's not been answered in a will, a testament, or a living directive, any family that has a weak fabric will be torn asunder, and they will go south with incredible and probably unforgiving family dynamics for years, if not decades to come. So get your wishes specified soon. How do you do this? Make current wills and trusts, protect your business with succession plans, changes in partnership and ownership, and execute healthcare directives, living wills, healthcare powers of attorney, and advanced healthcare directives. So let me take you to Celeste Home. Now, this is a generational question. Does anyone? Well, maybe I should ask this. Who does know about Celeste Home? Okay, I see it. There's a generation gap here. I'm proud to say I didn't, but I probably should have. She was the female lead in All About Eve and The Gentleman's Agreement. Oh, in Oklahoma as well. There you go. So this is an interesting case. This is public, so I'm not divulging anything that's not been written about. Celeste is now 95 years old. Has had a memory disorder since 2002. I don't know this personally, but I'm assuming it's an Alzheimer type dementia. Thrice married, 2 sons, different marriages, and she meets a waiter who calls himself an opera singer at a charity event in New York City event. Well, they take up. He is half her age, so he's like 48, 49. And the sons are rather unhappy about this situation. So there's 3 possible scenarios here. Is he in fact a gold digger? Counter to that is for the 10 or 12 past years he's been an absolutely faithful and loving husband to her. Are her sons, one in particular, simply trying to protect their inheritance? So she wasn't the executor of her estate. So in comes the one son who appoints himself and then appoints his son as the successor of the estate. Or was this just a really lovely, independent woman of means who wanted the autonomy of financial decision-making despite her cognitive decline? So 3 possible scenarios and mixtures of all 3. So the legal questions become, what was her mental status when she executed the trusts? Was her current marriage procured under duress or for fraudulent purposes? And does she currently possess the cognitive capacity to alter or challenge an estate plan? So this has played out in the courts, and 5 years of litigation, most of her assets exhausted by that. Family furious. The gentleman stands by her side. and everyone seems to have lost in some way, except you could argue a few lawyers. So if without advanced direction, without lucid consultation and decisions, this can turn into a drama of very significant, complex, and enforced degree. So in response, in part to that, but to other things as well, myself on the right and Judy Edersheim, my co-founder, several years ago, founded the Center for Law, Brain, and Behavior at Massachusetts General Hospital. Our mantra being, the brain matters, science matters, justice matters. And we have sought to find out what is our social responsibility as clinicians to the legal world, the financial world, and what do we do about it. We've done such things as we've written a number of articles on the role of brain imaging in the courtroom. We're writing things about lie detection and what are the problems and perils and what are the possibilities within that memory, eyewitness memory in the courtroom during instructions. And also, very importantly, to this project, we are trying to put together an instrument which looks at decision-making and undue influence. Can we have an instrument which can say, yes, this person is very capable, no legal doubts about this, and can execute a will, a testament, something else that's a complex decision-making, or are they vulnerable because Lord knows there are predators out there, and internet fraud amongst the elderly, the lonely, and cognitive impaired is a billion-dollar industry. So we hope that we're doing that. Things with the brain and science and justice that matters. So in conclusion, this is a huge issue. This was an issue, by the way, with my mom. I don't need to tell you other details, but she was certainly veered in a surprising direction, which I think goes against the grain of who we knew she was, what we thought she wanted to be, and who she wanted to donate to during her lucid years. So this represents a way of me kind of channeling my frustration